He's got his game face on, ready to kick things off in Thursday night football from Tasmania. And Wellington playing in their Wollongong Wolves-inspired red shirt against Western United in green and black. It's been another triple header at this venue today. Calder United played in the Western United colours in a women's match, won 3-0 against the Tasmanian Select 11 a little earlier on, and there was also an under-19 game before that. So Western United doing great things for football in their 8-day stay down here in Tassie. Now the focus is on who can claim precious points in the A-League. Stephen Taylor. Only as far as Brendan Hamill. All going past Ufuk Talay. Of course, he won't be the next boss of the Melbourne Victory. Had been linked with that role, but massive news in the A-League today that Tony Popovic has answered the call to try and take the Victory out of the mire and out of the cellar in the A-League on a 3-year deal from next season. Early free kick here for Wellington.
Yeah, good position for Davila. It'll be interesting to see what he does here. And Western United pretty much on the penalty box line there. So quite a high line, a lot of space in behind there between Sale.
Clayton Lewis takes it, and out comes Ryan Scott.
I was about to say Scott, not Sale. Sale's at the other end.
Western United set sail through Tamoki Imai.
Yeah, talking on, and you touched on the Tasmania experience. They get 3 points here. I look on it as a very positive experience, Western United. Of course, they beat league leaders, Central Coast Mariners. That was a big win for them.
Part of the reason they're no longer the league leaders, of course. Open the door for Melbourne City to go past the Mariners. That result that Western United achieved. They've won 4 of their past 6 games to surge back into top 6 calculations. Mark Rudan side. Oh, Ryan Scott's taking on Ben Waine and able to just work it to the Japanese defender, Tamoki Imai.
We could have knocked it back to Scott, but I think he thought different. Threw a dummy and went down the line. And
got lucky with that ball out to Uscock, and now it's opened up big time for Diamante, who's assessing his options. Plays in Connor Payne, who scored the winner against the Mariners, and now the deflection favours Ollie Sale. It was Parias on the turn.
It's a decent chance as well. Connor Payne looking to shift this ball onto his right foot. Now, it all starts with a little bit of luck. Ryan Scott gets away with this, and they play out and mounted a counter-attack. This was the end of it. It's an important block from Stephen Taylor. What a big in he is now for Wellington as well in this run-in. All that experience and leadership.
Andrew Durante had his boot removed by the foul by Sotirio. And we'll be picking up a bit of dew in that sock as we check in with Michael Zapponi on these conditions here tonight.
Yeah, good evening, Speedy. A beautiful night for football here in Tasmania. The condition of the pitch at UTAS Stadium is brilliant. They've done a fantastic job here. Very little breeze. Not as cold as you'd expect for a Tasmanian night at this time of year. Terrific conditions, and looking forward to a terrific battle between these two. Great to see Western United really engaging with the community over the last few days. More than 4,000 people around the area playing football, and they've been out to clubs and schools, and they really want to consolidate their place in this state. They've done a deal for another couple of games next season, and potentially the year after that, taking some games to Hobart as well.
Yeah, plenty of dignitaries in the house tonight as well, including the federal sports minister. As Sotirio burst clear, Connor Payne tried to bring him down, and Davila can go back to Sotirio perhaps, maintain possession instead. The Mexican marvel had a chance to play Sutton in as well, but took the strike on. Here is the youngster in that left back role, preferred to James McGarry in the past couple of games, Sam Sutton. Wellington in the groove. David Ball around. Imai goes down, and the referee, Alex King, perfectly positioned, says that is not a spot kick.
No, he's just deemed that, and he's right on the spot there. Just a physical battle Imai strong in the challenges. David Ball tried to get around the back of him.
Doesn't even hold the hand up to wait for VAR to check it out. Alex King, Chris Griffiths-Jones agreed with the on-field call. Clever work by Lockie Wales to take that throw in, but it didn't work out in the end. Wellington have it back in the attacking third. Sotirio getting a shout here from Fenton, plays him in as well. In the middle, Ben Waine was the target. Important stretch by Payne.
Yeah, well, there was no pace on the cross. Great position. He knows it. Couldn't find the right delivery. Good play from Sotirio, just holding the ball up, waiting for the overlapping run of Lewis Fenton.
Out off Uscock, who played much of this season in defence, but he's now into midfield. With Hamill, part of that back three. Breaks here for Davila, the skipper, and he's in form, isn't he? Ben Waine, trying to become an Olympian for New Zealand this year, and he scores in 3 consecutive games and makes it 1-0 Wellington just 6 minutes in.
Well, Ryan Scott's got no chance. And they get a little bit of luck. Lewis Fenton trying to cross the ball, maybe looking for a corner, but it breaks to Davila, who sums it up very quickly. And Josh Risden's there, and he just hesitates. He's flat-footed. Imai just in front of him, but for me, that's Risden's ball. Not that Waine cares. Just sweeps his right leg at it. Straight flashes past Ryan Scott. And a brilliant start for Wellington. And this boy is flying at the moment.
Just puts a smile on your face when you watch the smile go on this guy's face. 19 years of age, massive future. Scored in the wins over Western United and Perth, and he's doing it again against the team in green and black. Previous 4 games that he's scored in, they've gone on to collect all 3 points. And I touched on it, the Olympics. The motivation on that front, the Ollie Whites drawing South Korea, Honduras and Romania. Compare that with Australia's group, the Ollie Roos getting Spain, Argentina and Egypt. You can get lucky, and you can also draw a group of death in those big tournaments. Massive challenge on the hands of Graham Arnold, in charge of the Ollie Roos, who's been watching each and every game, and there's some contenders out there tonight for Australia at that level, of course, including Cam Devlin in midfield for the Knicks. Josh Risden, Socceroo, showed his rustiness, identified by Robbie Slater in the analysis of that goal. Oh, that late challenge on Davila was spotted by the referee, but there's an advantage accruing. In fact, it wasn't Davila as part of this attack. It looked like a nasty challenge that might get further sanction a little later on. Western United able to regroup, and now a sloppy giveaway. Set up the potential counter-attack, but Victor Sanchez wasn't able to run onto that ball from Wales.
No, he was a bit flat-footed, wasn't he? He should have been motoring there as Lockie Wales picked that ball up, because that hold inside right channel was vacant.
That tackle looked like it was out of control, Zappers. What does Ufuk Talay make of it?
Yeah, he wasn't happy about it at all. Had a very strong word to Sean Evers, who's the 4th official tonight, saying he thought it was a red card. So we'll wait and see once play stops whether it is reviewed.
Well, it's certainly not a red card. I think we can rule that out from that.
Well, the card is coming out.
And it'll be yellow.
Tommy Uscock already cautioned.
Well, it was late. Very late, but he's pulling out of it as he goes into it, but he's still late. Certainly no red card there. A scary-looking character, Tommy Uscock.
Yep, Lewis let him know about it, remonstrating. Means Uscott will miss the next game. I've seen him sent off for picking up 2 yellow cards already this season. And this will be a suspension for the accumulation of 5 more yellows, 7 in total this season for Western United's number 22, who's no shrinking violet out there in the heat of battle.
Hamill on the left side, the back 3. Imai on the right side, Durante, of course, in the middle. And they're up against 2 strikers, so that shouldn't pose them too much of a problem, not just the 1 striker. And quite often you see 3 defenders just marking the 1 striker.
Here is Hamill taking them on and has his pocket picked. Crowded out of it in the end by 3. And look at that ball from Davila for Wayne. Outside of his area came Scott and needed to.
Yeah, that's a good read from Ryan Scott. Benjamin Wayne just pulling off the shoulder. It's in between those 2 central defenders, but just a little bit too much on it from Davila. Good goalkeeping.
Consider their schedule. Wellington, this is a sprightly start from them. And they deserve all the congratulations, of course. Setting up base in Wollongong this season. Away from home, had to go to Perth on the weekend. Claimed all 3 points there. Flew straight to Tasmania. They'll be back to Wollongong tomorrow to get ready for a game on Anzac Day. And here they go again. Scott has to play sweeper keeper once more.
He's on the front foot, Scott, and they do have pace up there with Soterio and Benjamin Wayne. And they have, of course, the players to be able to deliver the right kind of ball for those very, very speedy frontline players.
Sutton took the game on and was upended by Durante, who didn't agree with the decision.
Good run from Sutton, just comes in from left back and drives inside and draws the foul.
Tried to take that free kick quickly, but a little too quickly before the whistle had been blown. The depth in the left back position for Wellington, quite extraordinary after the departure of Libby Kakachi. James McGarry was a star at the start of the campaign. Now they bring Sutton into the equation, and this Wellington Academy is just breeding stars of the future. Now Lewis trying to pick out Payne at the back post, and they should get another set piece out of it. He's in that age group when you can get to the Olympics now. Under 24 it is for this 1 year at Olympic level. Clayton Lewis. Alex King sorting out the push and shove.
Yeah, well, looks like the All Whites have got a job picking not only an Olympic squad as well. So many different players, so many young players getting their chances.
And Lewis delivers, and Ryan Scott able to claim.
And of course you can look at that group that Australia have. Spain and Argentina, of course, and Egypt. Potentially a Mo Salah in there as an overage player, but you call it the group of death, but there's another way to look at it. You could call it the group of dreams.
Argentina again, they took on Lionel Messi. Last time they qualified for the Olympics, Graham Arnold also the coach in 2008. Imai be looking forward to the Olympics in his home country, of course. Able to keep this one in. And a little slip at the back, nearly allowed Parias in, but Stephen Taylor was there to help out Tim Payne, who'd stumbled. Miles wasn't letting Sutton go. Proving difficult to contain, though, the 19-year-old. Here's what it means. Wellington would jump ahead of Brisbane and Western United if they claim all 3 points here. Ufuk Talay masterminding quite the surge at the moment. He's onside here. Ben Wayne, and Scott able to get across in time again. 9th straight start for him. Preferred to Philip Curto in goal now. Stood no chance for the opener. And come in handy on multiple occasions since. Coming back for the earlier nibble by Sanchez, not the win by Payne. So many positive signs for the team in red.
They've made a fantastic start here. It's Western United really haven't settled. Or rather, Wellington haven't allowed them to.
Brilliant by Davila again. That time Imai dealt with the threat of Sotirio. Fenton with brilliant control. Uzcock won it back for his team. Connor Payne says, where to next? 0 options for him.
And their ball speed's excellent. Wellington, whether it's 1-2 touch, moving the ball very quickly.
Looked like he was offside there, David Ball. Harmlessly through to Scott anyway. Possession just currently around the 50-50 mark, but it feels like the visitors nominally are dominating this one. Now dominating in that category. Territory. Very little of the ball in their defensive third. Trying to get their shape going now. Diamante. Frustrated, kind of past that one, tried to force it into Payne. He's onside here. Wayne, Sotirio making the run back post, and Wayne couldn't find him. The pass maybe a little too late.
But once again, getting in behind Western United. And the ball's going up there, but it's just not sticking at the moment.
Oh, Taylor, another slip by a Wellington centre half, able to regroup in time.
Look how Lewis moves that so quickly under pressure. One touch, took it to the inside and shifted it out to Sutton, who's now out of position.
Starting to get a flow about it now, this game, as it did in Wollongong. And it was end-to-end stuff, 32 shots in that game. Just a week and a half or so ago. Will play each other next month as well, these two teams. Of course, the hope is that it will be across the ditch, that game, as Payne delivers all the way through, and Risdon leaves it for Uzcock. There's a chance for Diamante to get on the end of things aerially, but couldn't get a touch, and now Wellington break. Sotirio. Great awareness. Picked up Davila in the middle. And now Ben Wayne hunting a double. Looked to turn provider instead, which wasn't a bad idea.
Well, it's because his first touch took him away from that near post. He was in good space, great situation. Vision from Sotirio and Davila. Just picks him out. See that touch there? Just goes to the right-hand side and then takes away the opportunity to maybe get a strike on there.
Ball and Davila. Creativity again, but that time the pass only as far as Payne, and there's a trademark release from Diamante for Parias. Didn't need to nudge Tim Payne. coming all the way back for the foul on Diamante. Good refereeing. Alex King waited to see whether Farias was going to gain an advantage. Came all the way back for the foul. The late challenge on the Italian maestro. Giving it back to the Wellington bench.
His English is improving. Tell you what, that was a decent chance. We've only seen Connor Payne get down that left-hand side once, and the cross in. Diamante was there with a free header, and he just completely misjudged it.
Good win in midfield from Devlin. And Davila put down late here, and we'll come back for that one too. Feistiness between these two opponents who faced each other recently. There's some leftovers, you sense, from that game.
Yeah, Sanchez was not happy that he didn't get a foul coming his way. It's the foul on Diamante, who curls this one, looking for Farias. Sanchez coming in after he thought he was fouled, and there wasn't much in it, was it?
There was a bit more in that than the one on Diamante, though, wasn't there?
Probably.
You can see why the Wellington bench mouthed off towards Diamante. I'm not sure Stephen Taylor, his challenge was worthy of a yellow card, but it's the way the referee saw it. Michael Zapponi, I'd imagine there's some fruity language down there.
Yeah, as Robbie said, Alessandro Diamante's English has improved a lot. He had a fair bit to say to Ufuk Talay after that challenge by Steve Taylor on the Italian. And yeah, Ufuk Talay and Mark Rudin are both giving Sean Evans an earful at the moment. Plenty of feeling in this one, gents, and of course stems back to Mark Rudin's time in Wellington. Just get the sense there's a bit of an edge because of that relationship as well.
Just getting back to that point on the fixture list as well. May 22, Wellington fans, a chance to see your team in action. We're pretty confident that game will be going ahead. Western United on the road to take on the Knicks in Wellington. And won't that be a joyous occasion to see this trans-Tasman competition play games again in New Zealand. Small contingent of Wellington fans here. David Dome offered a few freebies up on Twitter earlier today. Part of the Wellington Phoenix hierarchy. Fenton, the goal scorer, one of the three against Perth the other day. Wayne was brilliant again, and the yellow card is out once more for Brendan Hamill.
Yeah, he sort of pleads his case, but it was pretty clear cut. Wayne was away. Well, he controlled that ball. It's up around his chin. Not only did he control it, but he shifted it and got away in between two players onto the thigh, and he's away.
Hooked him with the arm was the gesture from the referee, and you could see that on that replay. Plenty of advice from Diamante for the man in the middle. Most of the fouls being committed by Western, including a string of them in the last few minutes. Little proppy after that pass, Cam Devlin. He and Lewis keeping Rufer out of the side at the moment. Ball goes down. Risdon barely touched him. Lost another stumble.
Well, Ball, if he, after his first touch, he could have slid that across, because Ben Wayne was completely unmarked. And I don't think he saw him. And another yellow card. Tone's been set.
Yeah,
Great ball from Davila. He didn't get his head up. Wayne just out of shot there, was completely unmarked.
Long way from goal to be doing that, Josh Sotirio, and works himself into the book. He's another Ollie Roos contender. Michael Zapponi, you're tracking all these yellow cards for us?
Yeah, what's the count? I've lost count, Speedy. We'll tally them up. But Ufuk Talay just making the point to Sean Evans that every time they get the ball, it seems that Western United's first thought process is to commit a foul. And they're keeping a close eye on that. But they can't continue this, Western United. They look like they're on the back foot chasing shadows at the moment, and they can't continue to commit fouls every time Wellington do get the ball. They need to change something up.
Here's Payne. Plenty of numbers back, but they picked a hole, and Lachie Wales has scored a beautiful goal. Dispatched into the bottom corner. It was basically 2 against 5, but the 2-1 out for Western.
What a brilliant finish. And clever from Connor Payne. Punched that ball into Wales, but how quickly he moved his feet for this. This is truly a super goal. Watch this. He punches it in, shifts it. He's hardly got time. Little backlift because he didn't have time for backlift. And like a tracer, no chancer for Sale. Quality finish from Lachie Wales.
Finding his form. 3 goals in the last couple of weeks for Lachie Wales, who had scored 3 in his first 70-odd games. He's doubled his tally in the last 4 games. Credit to him, who's worked hard on his finishing. Mark Rudan said heading into this season, I'm going to turn Lachie Wales into a number 9. He's playing in the Berisha role tonight, and he has delivered. He is most certainly an Ollie Roos contender after coming back from that suspension. Scored that first-minute winner against Newcastle recently. They've often scored early goals and been able to hold on. Same was the case for Payne the other day. This time, of course, they've had to launch the comeback after copping the early goal. Ben Wayne cancelled out by Lachie Wales. Woolscock has to be careful now. Didn't dive in on Davila. And he came back his way. So the yellow card count, 2 apiece. Woolscock and Hamill for Western, Taylor and Sotirio for the Knicks. Quickly forward here to Parias. Again, they're outnumbered. Western United, didn't matter for the Wales strike. Wasn't hurrying the cross, and in the end it was charged down.
No, he had to wait because his first touch was not a good one. Didn't set it up for the cross, and hence that ball was easily blocked.
Worked it nicely here. One-touch play, and now Diamanti taking on the strike. Optimistically.
But they're getting more time in possession in Wellington's half, and we saw that early on. It was 10 minutes ago. It was all Wellington in that stat. It was their first chance, and Wales dispatched it. Really good finish, quick feet. Had to be, didn't have time.
And from losing positions this season, they've actually gained 9 points, Western United. Only the Mariners have gained more from losing positions. Trying to thread that one through to Wayne. Ball saw his strike partner that time. After that flurry of yellow cards, we can now watch these teams produce the kind of football we want to see them produce. They can play highly entertaining, high-octane games that go from end to end. It's certainly the case right now. Parias checking back inside. Risdon looking for Wales, and well judged by Fenton. Uzcock. Decent technique.
Yeah, on the half volley, Wales in an offside position. I think that ball from Imai is looking for Wales to try and get across Fenton. Wales pulled off to the back post and Fenton got his positioning perfect. This is the strike, cushions it. On the half volley, drags it wide.
Scorer of 2 A-League goals so far, Tommy Uzcock. There's no Guarachena for the first time as a starter in 11 games for Western. He is amongst the substitutes with Bessart Berisha. And Michael Zapponi, you're expecting that Bess will get a run tonight, definitely?
Yeah, spoke to Mark Rudan yesterday, and he said that given the short time between games, of course they've got Newcastle on Monday night. He expects Bess Berisha to play on Monday night, to play tonight. We'd expect him to get at least 20 to 30 minutes this evening.
Their top scorer again this season. 7 strikes to his credit. Parias second to him with 5, and Lockie Wales now up to 3. Matching what Sanchez has done. Devlin searching, put it on the chest of Durante and clattered into Diamante. Always looking for that aggressive free kick. Diamante, if someone can make a run in behind. It's frustrated when they don't. Sotirio cut it out, and now he can turn. That's certainly testing the friendship. That challenge from Risdon, that looked like a promising attack was brewing.
Yeah, certainly stops the rhythm. Sotirio looking to drive at that back three. And Wellington have been doing the same.
What a ball! Wayne in behind, and Hamill just got his body in the right spot, but what a through ball.
Brilliant ball. Just clipped over the top from Lewis. And Wayne, you can see he's trying to get his body between the ball and the defender, but Hamill, be fair to him, did very well.
Diamante tries to answer the Lewis ball and does, finds the feet of Parias. That was Diamante-esque from Wellington's number 23. Same shirt number as Diamante. He says, have a look at this left boot. Almost like he got a different kind of spin on it to find Ben Wayne. Imai didn't get the angle right after a lung-bursting run, and they're out of position a little defensively, and Davila can pull the strings again. David Ball trying to make up the ground on that far side. I think he's feeling it, feeling the pinch of this end-to-end stuff. Fenton, a more willing runner. And the deflection will favour Scott.
He does well defensively, Connor Payne. Doesn't get a lot of the credit he possibly deserves when he's defending.
Look at poor old Josh Risdon on his return to the starting lineup for the first time in nearly 9 or 10 months. He's feeling the pinch. He was on his haunches there and looking for a breather right now, the Socceroo. What's that like coming back from a long time out?
Yeah, look, it's tough, but the only way to get through it is games.
Trying to pretend he's adjusting his socks as he sucks in the big ones. Hands on hips for Rizzo. Puts into perspective how high tempo these A-League fixtures are. And you can lap it up night in, night out over the next week and a half. Then we'll have a two-day break and go again. Wales and Payne, who combined to devastating effect for the equaliser. Sanchez wasn't anticipating the return ball from Wales. He's dragged back. Davila there, and professionally enough, then kicked the ball away, and that's not a yellow card. Sanchez gets a little warning on the run from Alex King. Lewis again, trying to find Wayne. He's had a nearly night. He's on the score sheet, Ben Wayne, but could have been anything so far in this first half.
Well, he's so busy, works across that front line. Him and Sotirio just rotate all the time, and likes the inside to outside run, but can do both. He's so busy. It's great for players like Davila and this man Lewis to have players like that up front constantly moving.
Durante. Such a pro, 38 years young. Had that horrific moment as a 17-year-old in a trial game with Sydney Olympic when he was shot. Looked down, saw blood coming out of his shirt, and realised he'd copped a bullet from some idiot who was shooting at the game as Sydney Olympic played that trial game. Got to hospital, got the bullet taken out, and he's gone on to forge this amazing career with such longevity. A New Zealand international, of course, after getting citizenship when he played for so long with Wellington. Still marshalling the defence. Diamante bending it, hopefully, and all the way through. Parias! Important block by Payne. Didn't Risdon do well to hook it back and get on the end of that speculative ball by Diamante? Most had given up on it.
And that was what it was from Diamante, right to the back post, and somehow they made a chance from nothing there.
Oh, lovely. Sotirio and Davila linking up. Oh, coming together between Durante and Davila. Both looking at the ref saying they're equally hurt here. The card is going to be shown the way of the Western United defender.
Well, he just gave him a sniff because Davila's last touch just went a little bit too far out in front of him, and Durante thought he could get there. Davila actually passed the ball pretty much sliding into it.
And Alex King is saying he's in control of the situation. He's passing the ball, and you are the one who erred. Durante wanted to debate it.
There's no debating. Davila, see that touch there, just Durante thinks he's half a chance to get it, and he's late.
A fifth yellow card of the first half. And Davila allowed to stay out there, of course, after being fouled and then receiving treatment. He's still part of this free kick equation. Stephen Taylor is annoying an opposition goalkeeper with one of his trademark manoeuvres, getting in the eye line of Ryan Scott, and Diamanti saying, come on, mate, we don't need that nonsense. He's got a way of diffusing things more often than not, does Dia. Davila has taken it off Clayton Lewis here. Ulysses Davila couldn't bend it back in, but had the crowd gasping.
And had Scott scrambling across his goal line. There's plenty of pace, bend on it, but not enough.
Wellington have won those past 3 games against Western by a combined aggregate of 8 goals to 3. Diamanti dropping one over the top. Should be Ollie Sales, who's asked to come out off his line by Taylor. Don't mind this little tete-a-tete between the two number 23s tonight, Robbie.
That's good. Lewis is a player who's just got better and better of every game he plays.
Oh, he found it. Did he? No. Picked off by Fenton, who's on the charge. And a little nick off Sanchez. Sotirio with speed. Dealt with by Hamill. That near post. Diamanti dragging it out of the sky and then dragged down by Fenton, who had hold of the arm. Another solid first half showing from Wellington. If games finished at half-time, they'd be second on the A-League ladder this season. Game opened up even more last time these teams met after the break. It's got that feel about it again this evening when you look at the firepower that can come on off the bench. Tomer Hemed, who missed the trip to Perth, amongst the substitutes for Wellington. And of course, as discussed, Bessart Berisha ready for half an hour or so.
Yeah, it's been an interesting first half. Wellington have shaded it, and Western United, well, you have to say clinical. They've only really, well, they had the chance from Parias as well that was blocked, I think, by Lewis, but Wellington have had maybe better situations.
Sotirio around Hamill. Wayne on the move in the middle, and Imai marshalled him again.
Yeah, good defending from Imai. Doesn't let Wayne get across him. Busy Sotirio in this first half, causing problems again down the right-hand side.
Wellington have had real joy getting their speedsters away. Sotirio and then Davila right through the middle. Parias not so for Western. Durante. And Wales can turn out and use Riston, who puts the head down, digs in for one last effort before half-time. Credit to him then for getting on the end of that Diamanti cross moments ago when he had to chase what many would have thought was a forlorn cause. Comes back onto the hand of Payne. Referee lets it roll and gives the free kick to Connor. Diamante waiting for the centre halves to get forward here. All three are up. Uscock, an obvious threat. Diamante bends it away. Still alive here, maybe offside against Wales. Flag stayed down. Diamante tries for handball, and the referee is obviously giving that handball.
Not a massive protest from Diamante, which suggests that the referee got it right. Great feint there. And, the handball has already happened. I mean, he's certainly got, you know, in the second half of this first half, he's certainly got himself more into the game, which is good for Western United, but I'm sure Mark Rudin will want a little bit more going forward.
Interesting, this one. Brendan Hamill is on a yellow card. He's going to be sent off here. It's a second yellow for Brendan Hamill in first half stoppage time. He led with the arm on Ben Waine, and what a massive moment, a sliding doors moment for Western United. And the teammates going to bat for Brendan Hamill, who's off.
And that's exactly what you don't want. The concentration is key. Right on the cusp of half-time. Have to see the challenge again, but you know, it's happened. He's off. That's King's seen enough. Well, I think that's, look, for me, I've always said this, and I can see what people are going to say, but for me, I think that's harsh. You can't jump without your arms by your side. I think he's got eyes on the, he's got...
Hey, can we chat, Sean? Hey, Sean, can we talk, or are you going to hang out there the whole time? Sean, can we talk, or are you going to hang out on that side the whole time?
This was his first caution on Ben Waine for hooking back and stopping a promising attack. And Mark Rudan is saying the same thing you are, Robbie, that you can't jump with your hands by your side, and that's a real soft one.
And he's only got eyes for the ball. Benjamin Waine actually comes from behind him and sort of pops his head around, and he's saying, oh, I've got eyes on the ball. I think that's real harsh. For me, that's real harsh.
Taylor nodding it on, and time just about up in this first half, which has its customary multiple talking points. A couple of goals, and now a red card for Brendan Hamill that will be keenly debated. How pivotal will it be in the final wash-up? I think Alex King got the advice from Sean Evans that it was a yellow card offence. He looked over to his fourth official, if I'm not mistaken, and the advice came that it was a yellow. And that yellow added up to red. Lachie Wales provided the equaliser for Western United after Ben Waine had opened the scoring tonight. At the break, it's 1-1, but Western United are down to 10. Let's get down to Zappers.
David, a pretty feisty first half. Did you feel like Western United's tactic was to foul you every time you tried to get the ball? That was certainly the message coming from your bench.
Obviously, I think anyone watching the game will probably notice that. They've gone, I think, man for man on me, myself and Ully. So, you know, we're obviously trying to get down the sides of him, and it's been a good game of football. That last minute gives you an advantage. Do you change your game plan now? No, I think we stick the same. Now one man's got to come out from somewhere, and we've got to find that little pocket of space and exploit it. So we'll be looking to do that. Thanks for joining us. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, plenty to talk about here from UTAS Stadium in Launceston. Don't go away. Plenty more after the break.
What a big night here on Fox League. Big time footy returning to the top end. What a battle.
On the rampage, he is unstoppable.
So if you're starting your project, you can always pop into Bunnings. We definitely make DIY easier for anyone from the beginner all the way to the expert.
So you can tackle those projects. The thing you thought might be a little too hard, we can show you how to do it.
Most of the customers that come in here, it is about home